My 24M girlfriend 23F just broke up with me because of her work friends. I have been with my girlfriend, Kate, exclusively for 5 years, but on and off for 2 years before. A lot of my first happened with her. We went to each other's prom/school dances. We supported each other through tough times. I know Kate is out of my league and I did all I could to make her feel safe and secure. I'm in love with her and wanted a future with her. I went off to college and got a double major, and Kate went into cosmetology school. We were planning to move in with each other in a few months and talked about marriage and children. For the last couple of months, she kept making comments like, "My coworkers keep asking why I'm with you. Coworker name thinks that you're not in my league. My coworkers want me to hang out with them and meet new people." Every time I would ask Kate what she thought. She always said that she loves me and ignores the comments. Tells them to stop. But they kept saying these comments made by her coworkers. We always had open communication. Talked things out. We haven't had any major issues. We argue over little things such as movies and TV/anime shows, food, etc. We don't hide anything. These comments started when she got the job at that salon. She works with all women. She did not cheat or anything. No emotional affairs. No hiding locations. No secret social media. The other night we had a nice date. Had a good after date. When I dropped her off at her place, she commented that she was having doubts about our relationship and wanted to break up. I was super confused and didn't say anything. I slowly walked away. I know it was because of her coworkers. The comments they were making and pushing her to leave me. She said so in a message. Less than 4 hours later she started calling me and texting me saying she was sorry, didn't mean it, that she loves me, and she was stupid for what she said/listening to her new friends. She was going to quit and find a different job. Stop talking to her friends/coworkers. I have not responded to anyone. I'm conflicted. I love her. I have a ring being made for her. Money saved for a house for both of us. We share 85% of our friend groups. The rest are from our jobs. Most of our shared friends have now heard about the breakup and seem just as confused as I am. From some of the messages I have received, it looks like she told them the truth. That her coworkers started to give her insecurities about our relationship and she stupidly went with it. Her parents tried to reach out to me asking what happened. We are very close. I have been radio silent. Luckily, I can work remotely. I left my apartment yesterday with my laptop and found a nice place with good internet to still do my job. I feel lost. I don't know what I did. I don't know how to feel. I need advice and suggestions. TLDR, my longtime girlfriend just broke up with me because her coworkers thought I'm not good enough for her. Quick update, after I posted, my boss sent me an urgent message asking if we could do a Zoom meeting. I accepted. When his picture came up, there were 2 cops behind him. Apparently, someone they wouldn't name asked them to do a wellness check on me. They tried my apartment and no one was there. Then my work. I was not there. My boss knew I was actively working remotely and called me. I had to explain I was alright, just had my phone off due to drama. I'm also supposed to go to her parents' house tonight. Update number 2, we did not have a meeting last night. I rescheduled it for tonight, Friday. Life also has a way of kicking you when you are down. As I was going through my missed calls last night, I got a voicemail saying that my ring would be ready to pick up today, Friday. I also want to apologize for spelling and grammar mistakes. I have not been in my right mind the last few days. Thanks for all the feedback. I will probably update tomorrow or Sunday. Update. My longtime girlfriend just broke up with me because of her coworkers. They thought I'm not good enough and out of her league. Thanks for the messages and comments. It has been an emotionally draining few days. On Friday, I cleared all my voicemail and texts. I ended up with 61 missed calls, 4 from the police, 14 voicemails, and 417 text messages. I sent a generalized message to those who reached out stating that I was okay and safe, as well as need time and space while I work out some personal issues. I picked up the ring since it was already paid for, then put it in the box I made for it. I did go to her parents' house. As soon as I pulled up, Kate opened the door and ran out. She had been crying. Went to give me a hug. I accepted, but it wasn't how I usually hug. She then tried to kiss me. I moved my head and backed up. We went in and sat down. We sat for about 10 minutes not saying anything. She started crying and said she was sorry. I just responded with okay. I asked her what she told everyone. She said the truth. I asked her why the cops were called to check on me. She explained that she didn't call them. After our friends found out, they tried reaching out. After none of them had heard from me in over 24 hours, they decided to call in the wellness check. Kate used the word catatonic to describe me after I walked away. I took a bunch of the questions you guys posted. I asked her why did she break up with me. She didn't give me a straight answer. Something about people at work constantly talking bad about me and playing on her insecurities. I asked her why she kept letting that happen and not put a stop to it by setting clear boundaries. She said that she tried and it would work for a day but would go back the next. I asked if she saw value in me as a person or in our relationship. She said that she does in both. I asked why would she break up over something a random stranger said about me. She said she was sorry and it was a dumb mistake. Paraphrasing. I asked how did they know about me or our relationship and how much did they talked about me. The ladies at the salon overheard Kate talk to some of our friends or customers while she was working about me. Things we did like dates, birthday parties, etc. Did she believe her coworkers were right? She said no. I then followed up with why. She said again, she did not know. I asked her if there was someone else. She immediately said no. She has never cheated or been tempted to. She offered me her phone, which I declined. I then told her how I felt. Sorry isn't enough. If she wants this relationship, she needs to prove it to me. I didn't care that her coworkers kept talking about us. It's that you listened. It isn't what they said that hurts, it's the fact that you kept listening to it and repeated it back to me. She didn't try hard enough to stop them. It makes me feel like she had to feel the same way to an extent. That is what hurt and damaged the relationship. That her insecurities are what broke my trust. I will now always think that this might happen again. She will run off at the next opportunity. She asked why I just talked away. I told her that at that moment. Just 2 sentences broke me and made me rethink my life up to that point and the future I was planning with us together. I was growing and making moves for that future. She started crying harder. I felt bad. The next thing I did, I regret. I asked her if she knew I was going to propose soon. She said no. I pulled out and showed her the box. I made the box as well. It has 2 buttons, one that says yes and one that says no. It has lights that say will you be my life partner? I set it on the table and pressed yes. The box opened and she started to cry even harder. The ring has both of our birthstones that form the shape of a completed heart with small diamonds surrounding it. Laser engraved initials and date of our anniversary. I had it made so that it could be added onto when we had kids. Her parents were there, but were more just to make sure things kept civil. Her mom was crying and her dad looked pissed, but not at me. They both made comments about the ring/box. I told her that the future I had planned was not going to happen anymore. We need to give each other space. At least 3 months of no communication. We need to take a step back and look at who we are and what we want moving forward. After that, we will see where we are at. But this is on my terms and timeline. I can't return the ring, so I don't know what to do with it. Might end up just giving it to her if things don't work out. After 3 months or longer. She said that most of our shared friends told her off and blocked her. Her parents are pissed and her little sister hasn't talked to her since the first night. I said I'm sorry, but actions have consequences. I wished her the best. Thanked her parents for all they have done for me and hugged them. I knocked on her little sister's door. I have known her all of her life. Thanked her as well. Hugged her and left. I have 4 months left on my lease. I'm thinking of possibly moving when it expires. Tonight I'm hanging out with a good friend, Mr. Johnny Walker, just for tonight. I will get my life going again tomorrow. I don't know if there will be another update or not. Comments. Christwriter. My ex used to say that during our arguments. That his co-workers couldn't believe he'd put up with my shit. He was the one who cheated. He was the one who stayed at the place that sometimes forgot to pay him. He was the one who got his car impounded 3 times for expired registration, no insurance, and driving on a suspended license. I was the one who broke up with him. He still had to ask me why. Miamores _ Yeah, this is what struck me as the most bizarre. Like I'm bad with social cues and sometimes I'll blab things I shouldn't, but the way she relayed these coworker comments repeatedly is insane. Helm spicy. I took back a man who broke up with me suddenly and unexpectedly. He came home the next day and said he had made a huge mistake, and I wanted to honestly believe we could still make it as a team. What happened after was a train wreck. He didn't change, and I was 100 times more insecure that he'd just walk out on me again any day. He resented me for not being the confident, fun person I was and refused to coddle my insecure behaviors, all while projecting that I was making him out to be a monster and that he couldn't trust me to not abandon him like he did to me. It even got to the point I tried to accept all the blame for everything and went to therapy to try and be better for him. Long story short, I figured out a lot during my self-work and had to end up telling him I was done because I couldn't keep living with someone who refused to be an equal partner and who I came to acknowledge I no longer trusted. It absolutely broke my heart, but I realized I'd rather feel alone while actually being alone than to feel alone with him only 10 feet away. Moral of the story: relationships are about building a successful team, and trust is key to having a successful team. If half the team throws in the towel, it is over. Even if they come back, it will never be what it was before. Irma 149. That's what I thought. Even if someone would have the audacity to say something like that about my husband, I would tell them off immediately and honestly never tell him. Why hurting your partner so much like that? Also, this whole BS about being in different leagues. Which adult even thinks in leagues by this point, let alone with your partner? 1question0110. U/1question0110 Avatar. 1question0110. U/1question0110. February 3, 2018. 12,276. Post Karma. 279,315. Comment Karma. What is karma? Chat. Yup. Add in the way he felt totally out of her league and such. I'll bet she was constantly doing little shitty things to make him insecure about the relationship. And when he was comfortable enough to feel good about moving forward with engagement and moving in, etc., I'll be she recognized it and escalated. May not even have been a conscious thing. But I'd be willing to bet she routinely talks about her friends' BFs, or comparing OOP's looks to other guys, or being jealous of her friend's single life. S_Belmont. And I'll bet you that ironically, him going catatonic and walking off without a word or response was what won him the silly game. A combination of getting at her insecurities. OMG, why isn't he saying anything or begging for me back? Was I not really loved? Is he already off with someone else? And the disapproval of her primary peer group making her feel like the low-status one. Jansky68. Man, I do not understand how messed up OOP's headspace has gotten. Out of my league? It seems OOP's league is the one that matters here. When her own family is still thoroughly disgusted with her when cheating or abuse is not involved, that is really telling about how much they valued OOP. When I think of the care and thoughtfulness he showed with respect to the ring, in contrast to her behavior and inability to explain herself, yikes. Beagle Mom, 2008. What kills me about the out of my league comment is that you know it is solely based on something superficial. He went to college and double majored. He clearly has a decent job, enough that he's saving towards a house. He's clearly no slouch. Looks change over time. Personality matters so much more in the long run, and it sounds like he's a wonderful guy. The thoughtfulness he put into a ring for her is inspiring. And yet he thinks he's not good enough for her. Poor dude.